Okay, lots and lots of points have been raised. Lots and lots indeed. Let's throw it open to you and get your thoughts. Are we too easily offended, Amy?
We've also got lots of opinions on the line. We're going to start with Amy first on line 3.
Amy, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, are we too offended too easily?
Definitely. I just couldn't agree more with it.
Why? What's gone on? What's changed in our psyche?
I really don't know what it is, but you tend to find nowadays, I think everybody is always trying to act like they're bigger and they're better, and it's the same as rumours. Somebody hears a rumour, they have to pass it on, they have to show how offended and the absolute audacity of the situation of somebody doing something that they want to do. It's kind of like the topic that you just had about freezing your eggs. I want to freeze my eggs, I want to pass them on to my granddaughter, what's that got to do with you? But you will guarantee that the one person who has got nothing to do with it will be the one making the biggest point. They'll be sitting there and screaming, no, you're not allowed to do what you want with your eggs.
Can you tell me, I think you're absolutely right, but what has happened? What shifts in society's sands have gone on that have led us to this point?
It's not being hypocritical. I'm a young mum myself. I'm 20 years old and I have a 2-year-old daughter. But I do think a lot of it is young parents. I think it's a lot of people being quite naive to what's really going on in the world nowadays. Everything in and around the world is so thrown out to us with newspapers and everything's over-exaggerated that we follow on that line. The same with the war in Iraq and the Helmand province. I've got a lot of friends who are paratroopers and in the army who have all been out to Iraq and things like that. And when they come back, they always say just about how over here everything is so overemphasized and exaggerated that we're just automatically taking that on without really looking at it and going, does that really matter? What is the point in me throwing out me being so offended by this and risking somebody else losing their job? Carol is a perfect example. Been sacked because she made an opinion. She made a statement which 40 years ago, there was loads of dolls called that. People used to run around calling it all the time. Nowadays, somebody gets sacked because...
We'd accept it is offensive to many people today. There are lots of things that are offensive to people today. I had a big row in the pub last night, and this is probably going to offend people. I said anywhere about burqas, because Muslim women cover themselves up because they don't want men to view them as sexual objects. And yet, as a man in 21st century Britain, I'd like to think that I've reached a stage and we live in a society in which men don't view women as sexual objects, and therefore I feel offended that it's suggested that I don't, that's how I view women. So, there's offence everywhere. Amy, thank you for the call. Let's have another.
Our next caller is Lisa on line 4.
Lisa, good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you easily offended?
No, not at all.
Are the rest of us in this country easily offended?
Sometimes, yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I'm a citizenship teacher. I teach citizenship at a local comprehensive, and my class is fantastic. And on Thursday, we get out the newspapers. We watched Question Time on the projector, and a lot of the kids are frightened because the goalposts keep moving. We don't know what we should be saying. The kids have said we are afraid to comment on things because it might be looked at as that it's either racist or we shouldn't be saying that. And what do we say? And it's very difficult. As a teacher, I teach citizenship. We talk about our country. We're looking at politics, but it's very hard because the kids are more. I don't know. They're afraid.
Well, have you got a theory as to why we're in this place? Why we're walking this path?
Well, I don't know. A lot of them have said that adults. You see things in the newspaper and you think, well, are they right or are we right? And they do take their cue from adults. My class, they're very respectful and they want to learn, but it's not a very good example. So like Russell Brand and all the different people that they've seen in the news. But a lot of them have said a lot of it's totally blown out of proportion. And that they think that anything said privately, my kids said, should be left private. It shouldn't be in the news.
Lisa.
It's not really newsworthy. There's too many other things going on in Iraq and Afghanistan to worry about this.
OK, Lisa, thank you for the call. Depressing. I don't know. We'll take one more.
OK, let's go to Anthony then on line 1.
Anthony, good morning.
Good morning.
So what's going on? Are we too easily offended?
Yes, we are.
You don't think there's any positives to this at all? That a moral majority is looking after the interests, perhaps, of minorities that could...
None at all.
OK, well, thank you for that. No, it's a Right, Carol, I'm going to give you the chance to come back because things have been said. Anything you want to say to wrap it up?
Well, those 3 callers have just said we are too easily offended, and I'm inclined to agree with them, particularly as Lisa from Hampshire said, there's an awful lot more going on in the world. It's about perspective, it's about what is important.
Do you think it's a smokescreen, a diversion, that is almost a media plot, that if we throw out inanities at people and keep their heads thinking about them, they won't think about revolution or anything like that?
No, I think the irony is that 20 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, we're going a bit back towards the old East Germany, and I think that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, but there are things that you mustn't be allowed to say. You know, you can say there's free speech, but there are things that you can't say. In a multicultural society, we're so much better off than we were in the 1970s, when on TV you could have said the things that Carol said in private, and no one would have batted an eyelid.
Sure, but would you have allowed Geert Wilders in, for example? Because
because by not allowing him in, it's made it give him much more publicity than he would have had. I think people should be allowed to say what they want. If you stop people saying stuff, then that builds up. But then we have a discussion about it, and hopefully people go, well, look, it's wrong to kill people, it's wrong to murder children, it's wrong to hate black people or white people or whatever.
OK. Thanks for all your calls. Really appreciated on that one. Really enjoyed it. We've got to take a break. Jeremy Mills' confidence clinic's still to come, but that means we've also got to say some goodbyes. First of all, to you, Richard. Loads of luck with the Headmaster. What's it? The
Headmaster's Son. Leicester Square Theatre starts tomorrow.
Beautiful.
Tour of the UK.
National tour, isn't it, to follow, indeed. Carol and Steve, bless you. Can't believe it's been so long. Give it up for our fantastic panel, ladies and gentlemen.